in this module here, it's entitled Understand a Real Connection Between Weather and Your Operations, right? So I know you're speaking about this from electric sector standpoint, but this is probably anybody that operates a network of stores or distribution centers or IT networks or whatever. I think this could be a really good conversation here. So can you tee up the real connection? Let's talk about that for a minute. What does that mean from your standpoint?
Well, the real connection, I guess, would be it's nice to know, like, this is your typical AccuWeather forecast that even though I had 2 meteorologists on staff, that I would look at this to give me an idea of what to expect. But if you're running an electric utility or you're running a food transportation logistics group or whatever it is that you're doing, understanding the real impact of what that weather means to your operation is crucial. So you're looking at the 5-day forecast, and you see now there's a winter warning, 32 degrees, 100% chance of precipitation. But what does that mean to me? I mean, you got northwest winds 22 to 29 miles an hour, gusts as high as 46. Does that impact my facilities, or doesn't it impact my facilities? How much snow is coming? Is it a wet snow? Is it a dry snow? Later on in the week, they're talking about scattered snow showers or blustery winds. What? I mean, the meaning of the slide is, how do you translate this weather data into an operational impact for your facility? That's what's needed to have your predictive analysis.
So from, as we're looking at here on the screen, walk us through kind of the flow of this information from I guess this is how typically people will do it. So walk us through the diagram here, and we can discuss kind of some of the particulars.
Well, if this is what I'm using for planning, then I'm probably really interested in what's happening now in the next 12 to 24 hours, because there's pretty good accuracy and reliability in that information. But the further out you go, typically the more volatility to that forecast that there is, and the less reliable it's going to be. So that Wednesday scattered rain and snow showers could happen as early as Tuesday, or may not happen until Friday, right? So I'm looking at it as I'm looking at it as just more of a it's good knowledge, but there's not a whole lot I can do with this from pulling a trigger. Is, do I bring crews in tonight to stand by? Where do I put them? Do I need to have a replacement crew for the ones that are going to be working tonight? Do I need lodging for them? How many people am I going to need? What specific materials might I need based on the weather impact? So, from a wet, heavy snow, I'm probably going to need a lot of connectors, because I'm going to have a lot of wire to put up. I might have some cross arms. A light blustery snow, I'm probably just going to sit it out. So that just don't have a lot with this forecast right here. There's not a whole lot I can do other than provides me just a little bit of intuitive stuff. But if you read this, you're going to read it different than I'm going to read it. There's not a whole lot that I can plan off of this.
And is this the typical approach, I guess, of a lot of companies? They just kind of look at
I would say the smaller your company is, the more you rely on this type of forecast.
Right.
You don't have the resources or the ability to how they haven't looked at leveraging all the data that's out there to bring it in a systematic way based on the type of event it's going to be, because you just don't have time for it, probably.
Right. Got it.
Or you think you don't have time for it.
Right.
More realistically.
And so the challenges with this approach is that sounds to me like everyone can interpret this differently. I think that's what you said.
I wouldn't rely on this type of forecast here to put the right kind of clothes on my kid to stand out at the school bus. I wouldn't be pulling multi-million-dollar triggers on resources based on this forecast.
Got it.
If my kid's standing out at the bus stop with a winter coat on, and there's no snow, no big deal. Or they're wearing a rain jacket, it didn't rain, no big deal. I spend $500,000 on 500 people to respond to my property based on this, and it doesn't happen. I'm not making that type of decision on this type of data.
Got it.